So there's this text message. An engineer named Chang Liu, who used to work on the iPhone at Apple, texts his former colleague Alyssa Peng, LOL, I found out I can access the network storage. So funny. Here's the problem. Liu didn't work at Apple anymore. He was already at OpenAI. And according to Apple, he'd found a software bug, an authentication flaw, that still gave him access to Apple's internal file servers after he'd left. And instead of, reporting it, he allegedly used it to download presentations, hardware designs, manufacturing details, testing procedures. Peng's reply, by the way, was, I'm ready, and she apparently helped pull even more material through her own laptop. A few months later, in April, she also joined OpenAI. That one exchange is basically the beating heart of what might be the biggest tech lawsuit of the decade. On Friday, July 10th, Apple sued OpenAI in federal court in the Northern District of California, accusing them of systematically stealing trade secrets. And this isn't some narrow technical filing. The complaint runs about 41 pages, and the language is genuinely brutal. Apple says the theft happened at every level of OpenAI, from regular technical staff up to the chief hardware officer, and that OpenAI's entire hardware business is, direct quote, rotten to its core. Which, given who's suing, you have to assume the Apple wordplay was at least a little intentional. Now, who exactly is getting sued here? It's not just OpenAI. Apple also named I/O Products, the hardware design startup co-founded by Jony Ive. Yes, that Jony Ive, the guy behind the iPhone's design, who left Apple back in 2019. OpenAI bought I/O in May 2025 for roughly $6.4 billion. Some reports say $6.5 billion. Interestingly, Ive himself is not named in the lawsuit, but two individuals are. The first is Chang Liu, the guy from the text messages, who joined OpenAI in January. The second, and honestly the more explosive one, is Tang Tan, a former Apple vice president who spent about 25 years at the company and is now OpenAI's chief hardware officer. Let's start with Liu, because the allegations against him are the most concrete. Apple says he quit with three things: a company MacBook he never returned, that friendly pipeline to Alyssa Peng who kept feeding him internal info, and knowledge of that bug that kept the door to Apple's servers open. Using that access, he allegedly downloaded dozens of confidential hardware files, voluminous, detailed stuff about unreleased products, engineering presentations, technical specifications, proprietary project data. And it gets worse. Apple claims he coached Peng on how to copy confidential files and, quote, avoid trouble with the security team before she jumped ship, and even told her to talk over Line Messenger specifically to dodge detection. Apple's position is blunt. He accessed, copied, and directed the disclosure of confidential information after his employment ended, in direct violation of his post-termination obligations. Hard to spin that one if the receipts hold up. Then there's Tang Tan, and his story is where this thing gets a proper narrative arc. Tan was a legend inside Apple. He made his name on early Mac laptops and iPods, ran product design for the original iPhone, led the entire iPhone design team by 2011, and later headed up Apple Watch design. Colleagues described him as famous for taking risks and flying very close to the sun, moving fast, playing fast and loose, breaking things. In late 2023, he told his bosses he was leaving, and Apple did something rare. They let him stay through February 2024 to manage the transition. What they apparently didn't know was that behind the scenes, Tan was already working with Jony Ive and Sam Altman on this new AI hardware venture. He co-founded I/O alongside Ive, Evans Hankey, Ive's successor as Apple's industrial design chief, and Scott Cannon, a former manufacturing manager who'd left Apple back in 2010. According to the lawsuit, Tan has been methodically using Apple's confidential information for OpenAI's benefit ever since. He allegedly emailed himself information about Apple suppliers before he left. He allegedly used confidential Apple code names during OpenAI's recruiting process. And this is the part that sounds almost made up. Apple says Tan turned job interviews into intelligence gathering sessions. In one case, an employee got briefed on a project just hours before an interview with Tan, and Tan then asked about that exact project. Apple says that became an established pattern. And then we get to the show and tell interviews. OpenAI allegedly encouraged candidates still employed at Apple to study confidential materials before interviewing and to physically bring hardware into OpenAI's offices, batteries, logic boards, CAD and design artifacts, actual prototypes. At least one applicant was apparently uneasy, saying he was surprised people had brought unreleased hardware to interviews and didn't know they could take those out of the office. In many cases, they couldn't. And once people signed on with OpenAI, Apple says they were told to email themselves useful info before resigning and to notify OpenAI if Apple personnel asked them to sign anything on the way out. There's even, allegedly, a checklist Tan personally put together, handed to new hires to help them slip past Apple's security teams during offboarding and hang around a couple extra weeks with internal access. The scale matters too. More than 400 former Apple employees now work at OpenAI. This wasn't a trickle, it was a raid. Senior hardware and design leaders, whole chunks of engineering teams, lured by salaries and stock packages that made Apple's comp look a bit stale. And it's still happening. As recently as June, OpenAI poached Paul Mead, Apple's smart glasses chief, and unlike Tan, Mead was shown the door immediately, no transition period, per people familiar with the matter. Apple had clearly learned its lesson. But maybe the most underrated allegation in the whole complaint has nothing to do with employees at all. Apple claims OpenAI went after its supply chain directly. Specifically, they say OpenAI got a shared manufacturing partner, one that works with Apple on industrial design and metal finishing techniques, to perform Apple's proprietary trade secret metal finishing process for OpenAI's benefit, and misled that partner into believing Apple had consented. Zhang Gan, an AI governance and legal expert at Savills Singapore, flagged this as the scariest part of the case. No employee needed to carry anything out the door. The leak ran through a supplier. Supply chains move trade secrets just as easily as departing staff do, and almost nobody's confidentiality frameworks treat them with the same rigor. Gan also made a sharp point about how Apple structured the case. California courts have largely rejected the inevitable disclosure doctrine, and the state won't enforce non-competes. So Apple literally cannot do anything about those 400 employees just existing at OpenAI. Talent moves freely there by design. So every single allegation rests on conduct. Retained devices, unauthorized access, misused documents, coached evasion. Trade secrets law is the only legal perimeter left, and Apple pleaded squarely inside it. Now, the awkward backstory. These two were partners. In 2024, they struck a deal to integrate ChatGPT into Apple Intelligence and the future Siri. That relationship deteriorated. OpenAI at one point accused Apple of sabotaging ChatGPT on iPhones by limiting its functionality, and by this January, Apple had ditched OpenAI entirely and turned to Google. Meanwhile, Sam Altman has never hidden his ambition: a new class of AI gadgets replacing the smartphone as the primary consumer device. The twist is that, per people with knowledge of the situation, when OpenAI bought .io, the company had little beyond concepts and early prototypes, and was still scrambling to land on a product strategy. They've explored earbuds, smart glasses, AI-enhanced speakers, and ultimately an AI-powered smartphone replacement, though the first product, expected next year, might be something simpler. Apple, for its part, is cooking up home devices, camera-equipped AirPods, glasses, and wearables. So both companies are gunning for the exact same next-generation device market. Apple says it didn't just lawyer up out of nowhere, either. Back in February, it reached out to OpenAI, raised its concerns, and asked what OpenAI was doing to investigate. OpenAI, per the complaint, never responded. So now Apple wants injunctions, monetary damages, declaratory judgments, and the return or destruction of any stolen materials. OpenAI's entire public defense so far is one statement from spokesperson Drew Pusateri. They have no interest in other companies' trade secrets and remain focused on building technology that empowers people. Podcaster Stephen Robles roasted that line pretty effectively, pointing out that claiming no interest in Apple's secrets while literally hiring Jony Ive to build you a device rings pretty hollow. And of course, because this is tech, Elon Musk had to get involved. Musk co-founded OpenAI in 2015, fell out with Altman over control, money, and direction, founded XAI in 2023, now part of SpaceX, and sued OpenAI over its shift from nonprofit to for-profit, reportedly seeking $150 billion. A federal jury ruled against him in May. He's appealing. Also, in June, a judge tossed an XAI suit claiming OpenAI recruited a former engineer to spill Grok's secrets. Anyway, the moment Apple's suit dropped, Musk spent the weekend calling Altman Scam Altman and posted that after stealing an open-source charity, Altman had stolen all of Apple's phone technology. Altman fired back that plenty of benchmarks show their 5.6 Sol is now the best model in the world, and the most reliable indicator is that Elon is obsessed with me again. Then he called Musk the actual fraud for selling short-term space data centers to public market investors. Musk countered that SpaceX starts launching those satellites 150 kilowatts of computing power each next year, joking that Altman could come watch if his parole officer allows it, because in Musk's telling, Altman's headed to jail before that launch happens. The commentariat has been having a field day beyond that too. Paul Semenza, a professor at Santa Clara University, said asking a current Apple employee to bring parts to an interview reads more like a desperation test than anything, and that targeting Apple's supply chain is a flat-out declaration of war. And given Apple fought Samsung for years over rounded corners, don't expect a quiet settlement, especially since Apple has zero interest in cross-licensing anything from OpenAI. Paul Lembo, Broadcom CTO, put it more colorfully. Tim Cook is not Elon, he doesn't play, and Apple's going to bring heavy lumber to this, even if the ex-employee theft angle is historically hard to prove. Sahil Patel noted Apple is probably the last company you want in court against you, with some of the best lawyers in tech and $140 billion in cash, and that Apple neither files nor loses lawsuits very often. Peter Rojas from Mozilla read between the lines. Apple wouldn't be this aggressive unless they genuinely believed OpenAI is building a phone. Max Weinbach offered a subtler take that the suit really targets Liu and Tan personally as the bad actors, with OpenAI roped in mainly because it owns the .io, rather than alleging OpenAI ordered all of it. Rohit Mittal just said he didn't have this on his bingo card, pointing out Apple and Google have been partners for decades without ever suing each other. And VC Livia Sabo called the filing a due diligence nightmare landing weeks before OpenAI's expected IPO, a warning to founders that IP and talent transition protocols get read line by line before term sheets get signed. There's real irony here too, and Business Insider's Alistair Barr didn't let it slide. Cue the tiny violins, because Apple has itself been sued repeatedly for remarkably similar tactics, recruiting key people and building competing products off their knowledge. Under Steve Jobs, Apple ran those secret gentlemen's agreements with Google, Adobe, and Intel not to cold call each other's employees, arrangements later deemed illegal under antitrust law. And Apple's sued plenty of levers before, the 2022 Rivian case and the 2025 suit against a Vision Pro engineer accused of taking thousands of documents to Snap. This is a company that protects its people as aggressively as its IP. The timing just makes it juicier. The suit went public right as the Allen & Co. Sun Valley conference was wrapping up, with both Tim Cook and Sam Altman in attendance, which product manager Parker Ortolani summed up as, well, Sun Valley just got extra awkward. Apple's a $4.6 trillion company in transition, with Cook handing the CEO job to John Ternus in September, and fun detail, most of OpenAI's Apple hires came from Ternus's hardware division, and Tan's relationship with Ternus was famously strained after designers backed Tan for the top hardware job in 2021. OpenAI, meanwhile, is bleeding money, leaning on outside funding, and racing toward that IPO while Anthropic and Google close in. They've also been here before. The New York Times sued them and Microsoft back in 2023 over training data. That's everything we know so far. This one's going to run for a while, so subscribe if you want the updates as they land. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.